Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the top 10, in my opinion, best Attack of the Clones system sets. Let's get into it. Coming in the number 10 spot, we have a set that should have been remade in 2022. They should have released this thing alongside ObiWan's Delta 7. It's the 7153 Jango Fett Slave 1. It had 369 pieces. This is just such an iconic vehicle, but this isn't an iconic LEGO set to me. I wasn't a LEGO fan back in 2002, and I just wish the set was remade. Yeah, the reason why it's number 10 is it's very, very dated. I mean, you can see here, it's very shabby looking, particularly compared to the 20th anniversary Slave 1, the most recent, proper Slave 1 that LEGO's made. You have missiles that can come out on the side. You, of course, have your cockpit where you can fit Jango and Boba Fett. You have some engine detail around back. Again, I think it's fine. Everything on this thing's kind of bare bones. This thing's very, very valuable. In terms of the minifigs, you only get Jango and Boba Fett, which Jango Fett is a very rare minifig, but I do think we need, another minifig alongside that. All in all, though, this set is pretty basic. It's very dated, and I think it's in much need of a remake, but if you are an older LEGO Star Wars fan, older than I am, you will appreciate this one a lot more than I do. Coming in the 9th spot, I do kind of think this thing should be high, but I'm going to settle with it here. We have the 75015 Corporate Alliance Tank Droid, 271 pieces. I've actually reviewed this thing. If you would like to watch my review, you can check it out. Shameless plug. But yeah, this set is really, really good. It's really underrated, which is something I go on about in the review. It's very, very accurate. I mean, so much so I haven't even modified it. It's perfect for what it is. It does everything you want. You have some very nicely disguised flick fire missiles. You had great minifigs in this set. You had Jango Fett in like a £20 set. Jango Fett. You had a Phase 1 clone again, and a Geonosian Battle Droid. Perfect selection of minifigs. The build is very, very sturdy for 2013. It's a very good build. No stickers as well. No stickers in the set. Always a plus. And I have pretty much nothing negative to say about this thing. It does use those large Technic treads, which are always nice to get. They're quite rare, particularly with LEGO Star Wars. Coming in at number 8, we have a really old set, but I actually think it holds up really well. It's the 4478 Geonosian Starfighter from 2003. The set has 170 pieces. Now, this thing is really dated, but it does look pretty good. I love it sort of like, I don't know, really, it has like sort of a charm about it, it's just one of those things. It looks very graceful and very beautiful, even for its age. You get a small Geonosian cannon build, and of course with a lot of these old sets, a lot of these pieces are prints as well. They're not even stickers. You get 4 minifigs, 2 of the old style, old school Geonosian Battle Droids, and then 2 of the old actual Geonosians. And yeah, really nice minifig selection. No unnecessary minifigs. And I think that the side build is, it's not an unnecessary side build. It does add something to the set because Geonosian cannons are present. I think it's a lot cooler than a lot of side builds that LEGO does these days. So yeah, I think that this set just all works. It all goes together, and I think it's a great set. Coming in the 7th spot, we have a set that a lot of people are going to have higher on their list. But I don't care though, this is my list, and this is the 75191 ObiWan's Jedi Starfighter with the hyperspace ring. Now this thing's incredibly valuable. It's incredibly rare. I think it was like a LEGO store and like a Walmart exclusive or something like that. It was a really, really like expensive set to get. Now I think the retail for this thing was 100 quid. 100 quid for essentially a £25 vehicle set and a ring. I didn't think it was worth it. I thought it was a bit overpriced. Getting into the Delta 7 though, it is a lot more similar to Anakin's Delta 7B that I own. Of course, because this set came out in 2017, very close to the 2018 Anakin's one. This Delta 7 is nowhere near as good as the 2022 model. Nowhere near as good. I think I prefer the front end. I think the front end is sleeker, and of course there is no gappy wings, but besides that, the new one's just so much better. The hyperspace ring is very, very nice. It's very structurally sound there. We thought it might be a bit flimsy. It's not flimsy at all. You have, of course, they have to find a way to get their spring-loaded missiles in there. I think they're very unnecessary. And the mechanism to get the fighter in there is nice. The fighter does sit a bit high up, but I think that's okay. Now getting into the figures though, we have a very basic Attack of the Clones ObiWan, we've seen him before. Boba Fett, who's a cool figure, a bit of a rarer figure. He is not exclusive, and I do really hate his hairpiece. Yeah, his hairpiece just does not look very good on him there. We have R4, who's nothing special, and we have Jango Fett, who is actually exclusive to this set. Just missing out on the top 5, we have a really beautiful Attack of the Clones set from 2003. It's the Bounty Hunter Pursuit set 7133. This thing had 259 pieces, and it is just gorgeous. You have two really wonderful, surprisingly not that dated speeder builds there. We have chrome elements used on Obi-Wan and Anakin's speeder. It just looks great. The yellow and the green on Zam Wesell's speeder, of course they are very old sets now, they are very valuable sets now, but this is one that I just cannot wait. Please LEGO remake this set. It looks really cool. There's not that much to see and do with this thing, it's just two speeders you can sit the figures in. In terms of minifigs, of course, we get Anakin, Obi-Wan, they're great, they have the iconic chrome lightsabers, and then we have Zam Wesell. This is, I think, the only Zam Wesell LEGO has ever made. LEGO needs to remake Zam Wesell. Cracking the top 5, we have the 75085 Hellfire Droid from 2015. It has 163 pieces. This is a very nostalgic set for me, and one that I actually don't own and don't think I'm gonna get. Yeah, this thing is very expensive on the secondary market, particularly for the minifigs. That Clone Trooper, I believe he's Clone Trooper Lieutenant, he's very rare. He only came in a poly bag besides this set. You have two Super Battle Droids as well in terms of the minifigs, but yeah, this thing's going for about 128 quid on the secondary market, or like roughly, I've just had a little look, they are quite expensive. The actual build though, you have this very nice dark nougat orange colour, very nice to see that colour used. I love that. You have the droid eyes nicely represented there. You have the spring-loaded missiles, which I do think look a bit shabby. I do think the flick-fire missiles from the previous version, the Clone Wars rendition, looked a lot nicer than that. If I did get this set, that is one thing I would change. I do love those printed wheel pieces though, they look so cool. You have a blaster at the front, which is very nice. I always love when they have the Technic pins on the end of the blasters. They just look so like cool and beefy. Yeah, but there's nothing negative to say about this set. It was released for £20, very fairly priced. It's just the secondary market is so damn expensive for this thing. Coming in fourth, the 75016 Homing Spider Droid. 295 pieces, released of course in 2013. The OG9, that is this, you know, the technical name for this thing, if you didn't know. The OG9 is a really well-refined build. This is such a massive step up from the 2008 version, I think. The Clone Wars version, the originally looked so rough. This one looks so accurate, so much so accurate, in fact, that they hardly ever changed this thing with the remake. Now, I own this remake from 2016, purely because it was way cheaper. I will explain in the review when I eventually come around to reviewing that set. There's hardly any difference, but yeah, the 2013 model was really accurate. You had a flick-fire missile on top for the top cannon, and you had a very nicely brick-built underside cannon. The only major flaw and the heavy criticism that people actually gave this set was the fact that it really struggled to stand up. Now, they used the light bluish-grey the Technic pins, which have no friction. They're designed to be free-flowing around a Technic axle, or a Technic lift arm, I should say. Yeah, so it really struggled to stand up. That's something that they fixed with the 2016 version, having the black Technic pins. So that's just a bit of a background information to why that set was sort of, I guess, hated. People really didn't like it. You also got a very small side build of a DSD-1, which LEGO typically does, and I think that's great for Attack of the Clones. I think this was a really good DSD-1 model, and they haven't changed it much since. It's really good. Besides that, there's no flaws for this thing. It was a fair price. It is gonna run you a bit of money now, but yeah, and the figures were great. You had Stas Ali, who is a exclusive Jedi. You have a standard Phase 1 clone who's good for army building, and then you get two Super Battle Droids, and Super Battle Droids we saw quite a lot in 2013, and they are quite rare. So yeah, this set, no real bad things to say about it, and it was a great Attack of the Clones set. Coming in third place, we have the 75019 ATTE 700 294 pieces. This thing is so iconic to me. This is sort of the era that I got into Lego Star Wars, and oh man, this set is so iconic now. Why is this thing not higher? Well, because if you don't know, of course, we've got a brand new ATT that's just come out in LEGO Star Wars. We have the brand new 2022 ATTE. That new ATTE is better than this one in pretty much every single way. Now, this one does get some things right. You have all your basic features. You have your top turret. Of course, 2013, we had the flick missiles here. You have your cockpit to fit a figure. Very nice details throughout. Not too many stickers. It still looks wonderful on my shelf. I do own this thing. I cannot wait to review it. Of course, you cannot pose it too much. I've said this before, the only walker you can really pose is the ATAT within LEGO Star Wars. Every other walker pretty much just stands how it stands. It's just the way things go until LEGO advances more. But this thing does have some flaws. First of all, that 2013 Plague that we saw with LEGO Star Wars is very poor minifig selection. This is the main clone sort of ground assault walker, and it has one clone trooper in the set. You have your clone trooper commander. He looks wonderful. He's since been remade. Mace Windu, who is a good figure, unfortunately, the sort of like the dark tan printing on the white turned it into gold. So Mace Windu, it sort of like looks like on his legs he has like gold. You're not the greatest Mace Windu figure. That was kind of a slip up from LEGO there. We do have a very nice Coleman Treebore minifigure. If you don't know, he's the quote dinosaur Jedi that gets shot by Jango Fett in the Geonosian arena. He's a very nice figure. The only time we've seen him in LEGO Star Wars, and he's very valuable. And then we get 2 battle droids. Yeah, remove the battle droids. Of course, I will talk about that more in my review. The other thing to this set is that there's no interior. There's literally no interior. This is, of course, the massive upgrade the 2022 one has. That actually has an interior. But yeah, still a very iconic set, and I absolutely love this one. And I couldn't live with myself if I put this any lower. Coming in very close second, I do think that this is pretty much the most well-refined Attack of the Clones set that we have. It's definitely with flaw. It's the ObiWan's Jedi Starfighter set 75333, 282 pieces. Of course, release August last year. I've already talked about this set lots. I'm going to keep this brief. I have it, I've got it, I'm going to build it for my birthday very, very soon, in a week from recording this video. It is my birthday, so yeah, that's very, very exciting. And yes, I cannot wait to review it. Now, it has a really, really sleek back end. If you see the back end of this fighter, it's so sleek, it looks so accurate. The figures are awesome. Of course, this is our very first Kaminoan minifigure, Ton Wee. ObiWan is, I think, by far one of the best Obi-Wan minifigs I've ever made. Shame about the lack of back printing on R4. I think that's very lazy on LEGO's part. But yeah, this is the best Delta 7. Now, this thing does have way too many stickers. I think there's something ridiculous, like 15 stickers or something. There's a lot of stickers in this set. So yeah, that is a bit of an issue. If you do dislike applying stickers, I think that's pretty much everyone. Yeah, this set definitely, the stickers are a necessity. So maybe that's, a bit poor for you there if you don't like applying stickers. Also, this set famously has gappy wings. It is a bit bad with the gappy wings, and I don't really like the tile shooters. LEGO, I think, has retired their traditional stud shooter part, which is just so stupid. There's a time and a place for both. I've said this before. But yeah, I'm going to be removing those as well. Also, this retailed for $29.99 in the UK. That's a bit much. I got mine on a deal for $25. This, of course, is a £25 vehicle set that I talk about, but with inflation, it's now $30. Despite all of these negatives I've just described to you, it is still a really good set. So yeah, you're probably thinking, well, hang on, all these negatives, I shouldn't buy it. But no, it is a really, really good set, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Oh man, coming in at number 1. Everyone saw this coming. 75021 Republic Gunship, 1,175 pieces, released in 2013. If you ask any LEGO Star Wars fan, this will be within top 5 of their best sets of all time. This is my second favourite set of all time, system set. Absolutely, this thing is so near perfect. First of all, the LAAT gunship is like one of the coolest Star Wars vehicles. It's in Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. It's all that iconic stuff. I love it. And this set is just such a success. The build is so clean. It's just so sexy. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this thing on my shelf looks so good. Like, I absolutely love this thing. They could release it today and it's absolutely fine. Besides all this positive and all the nostalgia and all its glory, it still does have some downsides, however. They did have very, very noticeable flick fire missiles on the top of the craft. That is something I removed. They were very, very noticeable. Also, again, that plague of minifigs. This is the Laat Gunship, the main Republic gunship, and it has 2 clone troopers in the set, one of them being the pilot. Yeah, we also have Anakin, ObiWan, and Padme, which are great figures there. We'll find Padme is very rare and exclusive as well. But those damn super battle droids, get them out. I want another clone pilot and a standard Phase 1 clone, and that would have really elevated this set. Besides that, though, we have the swoop bike in the back. We have all of the posable turrets. You can fit your clones in the manable turrets there. You have a carry handle, which is very, very nice as well. You have a little compartment in the front to store some spare flickfire missile shots. You have your cockpit. You have a very sizable troop bay. You can fit a lot of minifigs in that troop bay, which is very nice. And you have the closable doors there, which is just so cool. You've got so much going on, and also the size. It's one of those sets you don't know how big it is till you build it. This thing's huge, and it has such a presence on the shelf, and particularly, you know, as a Star Wars fan, I mean, you just look at it, you just go, you're just taken aback by it. But yeah, it definitely deserves #1 spot, and I could not give the #1 spot to this set. So there we have it. There is my top 10 Attack of the Clones system sets. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.